Jujutsu Kaisen. So, season 2 just ended, and it's got me thinking, like, what would happen if Denji was Sukuna's vessel instead? And so today, that is exactly what we're going to be going over. But before we do, if you guys could like the video, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel to help push this into the YouTube algorithm, it would greatly be appreciated by me. And yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to pick up exactly when Makima recruits Denji, and as soon as she has him laying there, she would feed him one of Sukuna's fingers, because Makima would be obsessed with the idea of meeting Sukuna, someone who has the title of the King of Curses. Even though curses are no longer around and have been replaced by devils, she's curious as to how the King of Curses would compare, and he would be a valuable asset once at full strength in defeating the Gun Devil. And so she chooses Denji as Chainsaw Man to also be Sukuna's vessel, so that way she has both in one person and is a lot more easily manipulated that way. And so Denji actually stays knocked out as she feeds him 5 fingers. That's all she had on her at the moment. And so once they get back over there and Denji wakes up, it's not Denji, it's Sukuna who's in control. However, Sukuna is intrigued by Makima, wanting to know why she would resurrect him. The two would talk and would ultimately make a contract, one of where Makima would help Sukuna reach his full strength, and in exchange he would defeat the Gun Devil alongside her. And Sukuna would see this as an absolute win. All he has to do is kill someone he was going to kill anyway, and he gets brought up to full strength. So he agrees, no questions asked. And from there, we just go to Denji being let back in control, and Aki coming in and that going exactly as normal. Next up is the Bat Devil. Now, how would this go down? Well, I could see Power having access to one of the fingers, since they were found by curses themselves and Jujutsu Kaisen, so I think the devils would be able to find it as well, and Power would have one and would offer it to Denji, who would be incentivized to go after the fingers, after Makima would have said that if he would have eaten all 20 of them, that she would have sex with him. And that's all the motivation that Denji would need. And so he would agree to help Power out right then and there. And once at the Bat Devil, Sukuna would immediately take over and would tell them all to bow before him. The Bat Devil and Power would burst out laughing, and Sukuna wouldn't take this lightly, obliterating the Bat Devil with a flick of the wrist without any effort, being highly disappointed that these devils aren't all that they're cracked up to be. And once again, he would give Power her cat, and Power would be terrified at this point, as the Bat Devil was someone who gave her a hard time. And so, seeing how easy this guy just took him out without having any effort whatsoever, it was ultimately just absolutely mind-boggling. And so she would give him the finger and he would eat it. Now, 2 things could happen from here going forward. Either 1, Denji and Power don't have any interaction with the Leech Devil and they just go to the Eternity Devil arc, or we could have some fun with this here, which is more likely what I'm going to do. And they do run into the Leech Devil in the city on their way back to public safety. But this time, Sukuna's not interfering. He's not taking over Denji, allowing Denji to finally use the power of Chainsaw Man once again. You see, whenever Sukuna takes over Denji, I'd like to say that Sukuna just puts him into a nightmare state, or like he's just conversing with Pochita, as Pochita is still inside of Denji, and he is also just able to kind of protect Denji in a way. So Pochita just takes Denji's consciousness whenever Sukuna takes over the body. And now that Denji's in control and is at full health, mind you, he is going to absolutely obliterate the Leech Devil. There is no way that Leech Devil would actually stand a chance, and this would actually impress Sukuna, not knowing that he had these powers, but now knows how to activate them by just pulling the drawstring. And whether Pochita likes it or not, it is still Denji's body, so the contract still holds even if Sukuna is the one taking over control. And along with that, Sukuna would actually see that Denji found about 2 more fingers that were in the Leech Devil's possession, and Denji would just gobble them down in his Chainsaw Man form. However, Sukuna would feel something different. Like, he knows that he ate them, but he doesn't feel any power boost from it. It's like he can't even sense those fingers anymore. They're just wiped from existence, which is exactly what happens when Chainsaw Man eats something regarding a devil. Even though he has to eat everything associated with that devil for it to be wiped from existence completely, but I do think that if he ate 2 of Sukuna's fingers, those 2 fingers would be wiped from existence, and Sukuna would not get that power. So this has a kind of an interesting situation for Sukuna here. One, he can decide, okay, I need to take control of all time, but then he runs interference from Pochita. And so it's kind of a battle right now to see who is going to let Denji have control. Since Pochita is more passive and is allowing Denji to live his life like they had a contract with, which Sukuna being there not letting Denji have his normal life is kind of running interference and breaking the contract with Pochita, so it allows Pochita to be a bit more active in Denji's worldscape along with Sukuna. So we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the Eternity Devil arc. Now once we're there, Denji and Sukuna there would both sense both the Gun Devil fragments and the fingers. Since the Eternity Devil, I imagine, would have both. Now, with Sukuna's fingers there, it would actually boost the Eternity Devil a little bit. I don't think it would boost him up terribly much, but I do think it would give him a boost to be more than what he was. But so is Denji. And now, the whole interaction with them, with the Eternity Devil wanting Denji, this would go exactly as in canon, except for whenever they try to throw Denji in, Sukuna ends up taking over. And this is the first time Aki and his squad get to have an interaction with Sukuna. And this would go about as well as you could expect, with Sukuna telling them that if they attempt to feed him to the Eternity Devil, he will kill them all. And there is nothing they'd be able to do. And since Himeno would try to strangle Denji with the Ghost Devil, she meets a gruesome end at the hands of Sukuna, who just obliterates her by cutting her head clean off, killing her. Now, this would absolutely terrify Kobani and the rest of them, as Himeno wasn't weak by any means in their eyes. And Aki would be furious, gripping his sword, ready to cut at Denji, but stopping, realizing that they still need him if they're going to get out of this. Now, Sukuna would sense the fingers as the Eternity Devil would actually start to show itself, and this is where Sukuna takes action. As soon as the Eternity Devil would even lay a finger on him, Sukuna would attack, and it would be merciless as he would pull the drawstring, activating his Chainsaw Man mode, and would obliterate the Eternity Devil. I mean, this would be gruesome. Imagine the powers of Chainsaw Man with Sukuna, and then the domain expansion that would follow, along with drinking the blood to constantly be replenishing the Chainsaw Man power set, even though he could obviously do it with reverse curse technique. But if he doesn't have to waste his cursed energy, why would he? So Sukuna would just take absolute pleasure and joy in this until the Eternity Devil would beg to be killed, which Sukuna then would oblige. And on top of that, he gets the Gun Devil fragments and the fingers. So that arc is done and over with. And now we move on to the Katana Man arc, which is a lot more interesting since Sukuna has no idea about any of the Yakuza members that Denji used to be associated with and work for, so this coming up to him would be a huge shock. Sukuna would meet up with Makima and would ask her why she didn't tell him about the Chainsaw Brat's ability to erase cursed objects, like his fingers, completely from existence. And this would take Makima by surprise, saying that she didn't know that he could do that to cursed objects, only devils, as cursed objects really haven't been a big thing since Sukuna's time period, with devils taking control and running things, the world's been a lot different ever since. And so Sukuna would say that it's just gonna take some getting used to, but that he would make Makima pay if she's been stringing him along, only for Makima to remind him of the binding vow that they made, and until the conditions are fulfilled, neither one of them can hurt the other. And so Sukuna would let Denji take his body back, and Denji would enjoy the party with everybody, telling Makima that he's up to about 10 fingers now, and this would actually have Makima congratulate Denji. But anyways, let's go straight to the Katana Man art. So after that, the next day, Aki and the whole squad would meet up, and Denji would actually ask where Himeno's been, since he doesn't remember what happened to her. And Aki would say, "What, are you serious? You killed her." This would take Denji by surprise, saying no, he didn't. The last thing he remembered was them trying to feed him to the Eternity Devil, only for him to wake up and be completely done with the mission. And this is where Aki knows that Denji must have something else going on, and he would investigate it in due time. But this is when the group is attacked by Katana Man, and this fight actually goes a lot easier than you would actually think. Since Katana Man was better than Chainsaw Man, but Denji was inexperienced at that time. And as soon as Katana Man shows himself, Sukuna sees a target to take out his frustration on. And so this is where Sukuna takes over Denji again, with the markings appearing and Aki being terrified, grabbing power and getting the fuck out. And the fight between Sukuna and Katana Man would actually be a pretty good one and pretty evenly matched until Sukuna pulls the cord and activating the Chainsaw Man powers. And at this point, Katana Man has no chance of winning. With his cursed techniques, along with the powers of Chainsaw Man, and Sukuna's creativity in using the powers, he would just engulf the chainsaws in flames, tearing through and burning Katana Man to a crisp before ultimately killing him. And with that, Aki and the others would actually be able to take out his accomplice with the snake, ultimately killing her in the crosshairs. Now, the attack on the public safety department would still happen. It's just that Aki's squad wouldn't be hit as hard, but Aki would still request to get a power-up and make a contract with a new devil, since the Fox Devil wasn't having it anymore after Katana Man just ripped it a new one. So Aki would still make the contract with the future devil and would learn that he's going to die in one of the absolute worst possible ways. And Aki still would not care whatsoever. As long as he achieves his objective, that's all that matters to him. And with Makima learning all the info that she needed, they would all attack the Yakuza headquarters, and this time Denji would be involved in there, wiping out the rest of the zombies that they had. And that's pretty much going to be the end of this one. I'm not going to go into the manga as of yet, strictly because I want people to enjoy it in the anime first, and I don't feel like spoiling too much here. So anyways, if you guys have enjoyed the video, like, comment down below, what do you think would happen if Denji was Sukuna's vessel? And I will catch you guys next time after the Chainsaw Man movie releases, and I'll continue this there. Anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and peace.